Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Continue to come in and find your seats for this luncheon that we have. Find new friends, make new friends at new tables. As we get started today, before we begin, I'd like to welcome Aaron Bain from American Income Life, one of our generous conference sponsors, to the stage for a few words.
I promised I'm not going to sing again. Although I guess I could if you really want me to. Thank you, everybody, for being here this week. I know folks are coming in, so I won't, and I don't want to stand between you and lunch. I know it's been a busy day already. So just wanted to thank you all for the opportunity to be here with you this week. For those of you who don't know me personally, which I guess a lot of Virginia folks probably do, and some from other states, but before I came to the Special Risk Division of American Income Life, I was a county 4-H educator in North Carolina, and I was a 4-H camp director here in Virginia. And grew up as a 4-H'er in Dinwiddie County, as Jeremy said this morning. So 4-H and Extension has been a big, huge part of my life. It's made me the person that I am today, for better or for worse. And I know all that goes into a career in Extension. And folks that are in ESP particularly are the career lifer kind of folks. So I really appreciate all the hard work that you do and appreciate you letting me be a part of the organization here. Please come visit me out in the hallway. We're out by where the posters are. There's myself and another sponsor exhibitor. But I have literature information, and then I also have some giveaways. So if you need swag, come and visit me, or just to say hello or ask questions. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and I will see you this week.
Thank you, Aaron. As you all know, there's no way to do these conferences without generous sponsorship, so thank you, Aaron. All right, good afternoon, ESP members and distinguished guests. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this special luncheon where we gather to celebrate the accomplishments of Dr. Lupita Fabregas, an individual who has truly left her mark on the field of extension, making impacts not only nationally in several state extension systems and universities, but also internationally. Dr. Fabregas Janeiro is joined today by her daughter, Maria Seco. Welcome to you both. As we await the distinguished Ruby Lecture and enjoy this lovely meal with friends and colleagues, let us all reflect on the inspiration that we all are in the world, on the amazing potential that we have before us and the decisions that we make each and every day, and on the impact that we have both individually and collectively on our communities. Not only through our programming, but also through our simple daily efforts and by our choice to dedicate our lives to service through extension. Let's also take a moment to recognize our past Distinguished Service Ruby Award recipients. I bet a few of those names caught your eye, but you knew a few of them, and I bet those from your state really caught your eye. And we are honored today by the presence of two of our past Distinguished Service Ruby Award recipients who we invite to stand and be recognized. First, from 2009, our Ruby Award winner of the Kansas Alpha Rho chapter, Dr. Jim Lindquist. And the 2022 Ruby Award recipient of the Tennessee Omega chapter, Dr. Ann Berry. We are incredibly grateful for all that you and the other Distinguished Service Ruby Award recipients have given to the profession of Extension and for your continued support of Epsilon Sigma Phi. And now let us give thanks for the meal before us and allow our hearts to be filled with gratitude for the opportunity to gather in such a beautiful place. Please enjoy your meal and the fellowship of your table mates. We will resume our program in about 30 minutes. Okay, everyone. Continue to enjoy your lunch, but we are going to get started with this afternoon's program. Good afternoon once again, ESP members and guests here in Virginia Beach. And welcome also to those of you that are joining us via live stream. Today we have the honor of presenting the Distinguished Service Ruby Award. A career in service, much like the formation of a gemstone, is shaped over time through great pressure and resilience. Rubies, known for their deep richness and rarity, are a gift of nature, but their true clarity and brilliance are the result of hard work, skill, and vision of the jeweler who shapes them. So too are the contributions of those who leave a lasting impact and extension. Each action and decision adding brilliance and value not only to the communities they serve and to the colleagues they support, but to the entire cooperative extension system. This is why the highest honor of Epsilon Sigma Phi is known as the Distinguished Service Ruby Award. Each year, many deserving colleagues are nominated for this most prestigious recognition of our association, but only one is elected by our members to be honored with the Ruby Award. Epsilon Sigma Phi's Distinguished Service Ruby Award is designed to recognize outstanding leadership, innovative thinking, and sustained exceptional performance across a lifetime of service and extension. This year's Ruby Award recipient, Dr. Lupita Fabregas, joins the elite company of those who have shaped our association and our extension profession. It is now my pleasure to invite to the podium, my friend Mike Knutz, statewide 4-H Youth Development Specialist with the University of Idaho Extension, member of the Oregon Gamma Chapter, and ESP past national president. Mike and Lupita have worked together closely over the years on many innovative and impactful extension youth development programs, so he is uniquely qualified to speak to her many accomplishments. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Mike Knutz.
Thank you, Daphne. And for my Idaho colleagues, I do need to mention that although I did begin my career in extension in Oregon and ESP in Oregon for the last 3 years, I'm in Idaho, but we are all one family tonight because Idaho and Oregon are going to share our dinner together. So, grit, resilient, kind, dynamic leader are just a few words that come to mind when I think of Dr. Lupita Fabregas. I had the pleasure of getting to know her through ESP as she led the effort to create ESP's first affinity group. Einstein said, "In the middle of adversity lies opportunity." No other person exemplifies that quote than Lupita in what I know is her journey. Through her personal and professional life, she has navigated adversity and found opportunities to improve access to underrepresented audiences. She has taken what she has learned and collaborated with others to expand those opportunities across the extension system. Lupita's journey as an immigrant to the United States is an inspiration for all of us. She is originally from Mexico, where she earned an undergraduate degrees at Monterey Tech in agriculture, engineering, and animal science. She also received a Master's of Education before coming to the US in 2002. She earned her doctorate in agriculture education at Oklahoma State University. And then she started her extension career in family consumer science. In 2015, she accepted the position with UC Davis in California as the Assistant Director of Diversity and Expansion. In this role, and under her leadership, with a team of extension professionals, she led the largest 4-H inclusion and diversity initiative in extension and increased Latino participation by 200%. Please join me in welcoming to the stage a visionary leader that I'm proud to call my friend, Dr. Lupita Fabregas, to deliver her Ruby Lecture, Dream Bigger, Live Bolder.
Good afternoon. So I want to start this presentation by giving thank you to ESP. To be honest with you, I joined ESP probably 10 years ago, and I never in my nicest dream will thought that I will be here today. So thank you, ESP, because ESP was the first and the only organization in extension that was able to host the affinity group. And I'm saying was able because they care and they say, yes, bring the affinity group to the ESP, and we will be always grateful with them for that. I also would like to thank all the people that took me here, especially Dr. Atiles, who was the first person who gave me a job in extension. Then I moved to California, and I was the assistant director for diversity and expansion. But then I received an invitation from a very special leader that you probably know, Marshall Stewart. He said, why don't you come to Missouri and apply for a job in 4-H? So I think he was a brave guy to hire a person like me. So I will be always grateful with him. I also would like to say thank you to my Missouri friends that are here today that have been working with me for almost 6 years, and my daughter who made the trip here and left his 2 little boys to be with me here today. So I'm gonna start making kind of a disclaimer because I need you to pay attention because my accent is very strong. I have tried to improve my accent. I don't think that I'm gonna be able to speak like you in my whole life. It's just hard. It's just hard. I learned English too old. So you are gonna be there with me. So I'm gonna grab the mic. That is gonna be so much easier for me. So I'm gonna start by talking with you about me. My name is not Lupita Fabregas. My name is Maria Guadalupe Fabregas Janeiro, because I don't know why in Mexico we need to be nice with all the people who live in the neighborhood, you know? So I'm Maria because almost all the girls in Mexico are Marias because we need a Catholic name to get baptized. Then we get the Guadalupe because I was the first Guadalupe in my family. Then we go with the father's name, and that's Fabregas, and then my mother's name, that's Janeiro. So when I became American citizen, they asked me, do you want to change your name? And that was my opportunity. I didn't get it because all my papers are with my full name. So try a cultural thing in the United States by writing all the names that you have in a form. Here is your first name, your initial, your last name, and that's it, no? So that's life. So I was born and raised in Mexico, and I came to the United States when I was 42 years old. Don't do the math, right? So my parents were, my father and my mother, they were kids from immigrants from Spain to the first part of the 19th century, the 20th century, and they were very hard workers. My father finished 5th grade, and my mom finished just, I don't know if you know, but probably some of you are too young to know, but we study after 9th or 10th grade some typing thing, so you can be a secretary. So my mom went to that. And I didn't grow up with much. But we always, in my house, education was the priority number one. They never asked me, hey, Lupita, would you like to go to high school? No. It was, you go. And you go, and you go. So we are the first generation, my sisters and I are the first generation of people going to college. That is just easy to say it, but it's very hard to give up. So talking about lifelong learning, I'm going to show you. I have studied in 3 institutions. One was Monterrey Tech, in the 70s, I don't know, some of you might, but in the 70s, the Monterrey Tech was very far from my house. The distant girls didn't leave their house, you know? They were my mother said, we are gonna have to face a lot of challenge if you want to study in another place, because the people don't allow you to move to another place. It was the women's live with their families until they get married, period. No more opportunities. Then when I finished my undergraduate, I wanted to do my master, but I didn't have enough money. So I have to wait 20 years to finish my master. My kids were already around, and then 10 more years to finish my PhD. So I have been, I think, in college for life. So one thing is that in 2002, I was in UPAEP. I was working in a private Catholic university, and I wanted my kids. In Mexico, it's very popular when your kids finish elementary school, you send them out to learn English, to have new experiences. Of course, I didn't have the money to do that, but I was full of ideas. So I went to see the president of the university and say, hey, what about if you send me to the United States with my kids for 1 year, and then I can work in something. So he said, okay, we just signed an MOU with Oklahoma. Would you be happy going there? And of course I said yes. And then I went back home and I looked for a map. Where is Oklahoma, you know? But I already said yes, I was ready to go. So here that was the thing. And then after that is, I only have worked in 4 institutions in my whole life. I worked for UPAEP, the private university, then I worked for Oklahoma State, then University of California, and now I'm working for the University of Missouri. In Mexico, we don't change jobs very often. Why? Because there are not very many opportunities. So when you get a job, you hold that job with your life. You know, we don't switch from one place to another because it's impossible almost to sell your house. It's impossible to move to another place. But when I came to the United States, I said, well, that's not hard, you know? So I'm just going to share with you some of the things because coming and living in another country is an adventure. It's an adventure because you don't speak the language. Now I think, okay, we grab 2 pieces of luggage, 2 kids, and here we go, Oklahoma. So we arrived to Oklahoma, and when I got there, I was making $1,200 a month. And I got an apartment for $800. So I said, wow, I have $400 more to spend. So every week, I remember putting the money and say, how am I going to spend that money? Our biggest thing was going to Sisi's Pizza once a week. So it was $4.99, all the pizza that you can get, and that was our party day. But one of the things that we do is that it's not about the money. It's about how much are you thinking about, how it's worth the time and it's worth the money to be living here. My kids are starting to speak English very fluent, and it was so easy to be happy because you can leave your bike outside your apartment and nobody's gonna take it. The boss pick your kids outside your home and the school is free. It's just sometimes I think all of the teenagers should have an opportunity to go outside for 6 months so they can come back and value everything that we have here in the United States. The biggest challenges was the English. You know, it was just very hard to learn English. You cannot imagine, just think about how many questions you need to answer when you order a burger. To eat here or to go out with everything on it, with onions, with pickles. So by the time that you finish all the questions, you forgot what are you going to order. So English is hard. And ordering the things, even the burgers were hard. So we decided to start picking places where we can point the food. So one of the things that I need to say is that I was able to come to the United States with a visa. My daughter had a boyfriend. At one time, the mom asked her if we came here swimming. And then I remember telling my daughter, just tell them we swam and then we jumped the fence. So that is trying to be a little, we were lucky because we came in an airplane, we came with a visa, and to be honest with you, during my life in the United States, I have been in all the alphabet letters for the visa. We came with, it was a B, an H, a permanent resident, and after a long, long time, we became American citizens. So I'm super happy because I'm American by choice. I know exactly what it meant to be living in this country because it's just important. But the English part, I would like to say that is the thing with the English is that I wanted to study something, and I needed 550 points in the TOEFL test. I don't know, that test is hard, you know? And I went to all the English classes that they offer for free in my little town. I paid one class at Oklahoma State, and the other ones were in the churches. And the churches, so the programs English as a second language give people like me an opportunity. So if you ever want to volunteer in an English as a second language program, just think about people like me. That really changed your life. Long story short, after a lot of adventures, including failing the driving test because my English was terrible, I was able to make enough points in my TOEFL test, and that was a huge, huge accomplishment in my life. And these are my kids when we came to the United States. So my son was 8 and my daughter was 13. And we came to Oklahoma State, and it was just the three of us. The three of us We went to the supermarket, we went here because we didn't know anybody. I didn't have money to pay for a cell phone. So every time that we have to drive to some place, the night before, I memorized the map. And and then here we go, you know? Okay, so one of the things that I want to share with you is that when you move from one place to another one, you came to this place thinking that you are the best thing that ever happened to the world. And for example, these kinds of things, in my school, I was the sharpest cook in the yard, you know. I was the one that was very good I always loved to study. And when you came to the United States, you realize that the people are not understanding you, what you want to say. You cannot express what you want, and to be honest with you, sometimes you want to be invisible. So the next time that you see a person that would like to be invisible, think about me, because everybody's making their effort. I don't know if you saw this lady Vergara in one show of the show that he has that said, you cannot imagine, he told the husband, you cannot imagine how smart I am when I speak Spanish, no? And sometimes that's true, right? That's true. So my kids make my life super, they are my life. And when it was time to finish high school, of course, we didn't have the money for college, but they are full of skills. My daughter is a super good soccer player, and she won a scholarship to go to Oral Roberts. So the scholarship, I remember when we went to Oral Roberts, and I told her, Lupis, don't think that we are going to be able to afford this. We come here because they invite you, you are going to come here, but don't think that we are going to afford this. So long story short, she was the first person in the Stillwater High School to win a scholarship to play Division I soccer in the history of it. She's very good. She's very good. And then my son is very, not that Lupi is not smart, but my son is very smart. And he won a lot of scholarships. So we are all cowboys. Any people from Oklahoma State? Here you go. So I finished my PhD in Oklahoma State, Maria, her master in Oklahoma State, and my son is an undergraduate from Oklahoma State. So when they say it's impossible, think about me and my family. It's not impossible. Okay? So here are some other pictures of my kids during the years. And then in 2015, my daughter decided to get married. And I was thinking, what is next for me, like now that my kids are out of the house? And to be honest with you, when I came to the United States, I was so opinionated about the culture. I remember my friends saying, no, when they are 18, they go to college, and I was thinking, how can you kick your kids out of the house when they are 18? Now, I have my sister who has kids that are, 38-year-olds living with her, and just ask me, God bless America. You know? It's just, that's life. Okay, so in 2015, I moved to California because one of my students in the PhD program told me, Lupita, they have a job that is perfect for you. So here I go, I applied. I really didn't think about how far was California, but my life has been like that, So I ended in California, and it's where I really found my passion with 4-H. That was 2015, so it's only 9 years ago if you think about it. But in California, my job was to reach the Latino kids. And I think that I was able to end a lot of the myths that we have in extension and in 4-H, saying, no, the Latinos don't care about 4-H. No. They don't know about 4-H, but they care. Okay? The Latinos don't want to do this. No. They want, but they haven't been told or they haven't had the opportunity. So I work with an amazing team in California, and that amazing team has documented every experience that we have. So really, we started the program in 7 counties, and in those 7 counties, it was a revolution of 4-H. All the kids wanted to join 4-H. Another myth that we ended is that we compared the community clubs with the experience that the Latinos were having. And the experience was the same. We couldn't find any statistical difference. So the next time that they say, these are the true 4-Hers, and these are not, they are all 4-Hers. And they all deserve to be here. So in 4 years that I was in California, of course, they gave me money, and that's always helping. You know, we are extension people. And then in 4 years, the number of Latinos in California in 4-H grow immensely. We have programs, in farms where the Latinos were working. And the owner of the farm told me, Lupita, if you want to open a 4-H club here, you are more than welcome. Do you know the Latinos migrate from one farm to another one in picking season? So the kids didn't want to leave because they have the 4-H program. So the owners started being so grateful with 4-H because that was giving the kids some stability. In being a migrant, a son or a daughter of a migrant worker, it is hard because you don't have those roots, you know? So it's possible. It's absolutely possible. I remember one time I went to a church, a Catholic church, and I told the priest, would you like to have a 4-H program here? And he said, yeah, we can do that. So he gave me a garden, and we started the garden, and he said, can we pray? And I said, I don't know if we can do that because I work for the University of California, and you know, we receive some money, and I don't know that. That's okay, Lupita, that's okay. Next time that I show up, a Virgin Mary this big in the middle of the garden. So he said, okay, you don't want to pray? I will bring the Virgin Mary here with you. So of course, you are not gonna see those pictures there because I was very strategical to take the pictures because I want to keep my job, okay? Look at this picture and tell me if it's not worth it. It's the same county. And it's the picture of the way that 4-H looked in 2011 and the way that the 4-H look. We haven't been able to mix and match. And that's, I think, is the challenge of the new generation of the 4-Hers, that you need to be able to serve all the communities the same way. But at least invite them now, and then we can figure out a way to get together. But if you see this picture, just remember how important it is for the kids. Okay, so there are plenty of resources to how to reach the Latino audiences. Just Google Latino Initiative in the state of California. You can have everything that you need to start in your state. Okay, one of the things, and I want to show here some pictures that is how important is the culture when you work with people, and that's my first grandson, the one there, and that's my family, like Coco. But it's just very important that when you open a program, you consider the culture. We are not the same, and being different is okay. I cannot behave like you. Some people say, hey, you don't look like Latina. Ask my kids if I'm not like Latina at heart when I'm mad, you know? We are Latinas, and we need to consider the culture because please don't ask us to behave like you because we are not you. The same way that I'm not gonna ask you to behave. And I'm gonna give you an example. I wish I can work with people that I like, but that's not the job. No, you have to work with people that you like, with people that you don't like, no? And that's life, and we need to do that, okay? So here we go again. And so the money was sent in California, and I really wanted to be close to my kids who live in Tulsa, so I saw the opportunity, let's become a 4-H leader in Missouri. So here I go back to Missouri. And This is, I really thought, since the beginning, I really thought that there are so many opportunities to work with together. And it was not easy, but I really tried to make a system, you know. We need policies, we need this, and everything in writing. I'm gonna be honest with you, and you are gonna have access to the presentation, but sometimes it's very hard. The people that are long-time career in extension, they have their way. And this Mexican coming from California and trying to tell me what to do was not very welcome for a lot of people. Some people survive, some people don't. But I really appreciate the leadership in the state of Missouri because I'm still there. You know, and they could fire me because it was hard. It was hard. Don't think that everything is roses and everything is nice because it's not. Okay? So now we have a lot of beautiful things. You know, I'm a colorful person, so everything that I do is around colors and about. So we have enough information in the state of Missouri that is starting to be a national recognized program. And nobody is going to take that away from the team in the state of Missouri. Another thing that we did is that we start creating the sense of belonging to the land-grant university. That's Truman, the mascot in Mizzou, and we put a 4-H t-shirt on him. So the people can start knowing that we are a 4-H, we are a program from the university. To be honest, the majority of the counties, when I go there, they didn't know that it was a problem for them. They were doing their own thing, and that was it. Okay, so these are some of the pictures for professional development. It's important. Yeah, and again, the culture again. The people in the counties, they need to understand that the culture is part. We need to be proud of who we are. The 4-H program is for everybody. So every time that you try to just check the culture is super, super important because what you see is not exactly what is, sometimes it is. Also, we joined the national efforts in 4-H. I don't know if you have heard about, but in 2015, they started with a tendency of equity. And it's not other thing but opening the door for 4-H for everybody. And then they start with a thriving model, and then the thing that we are going to go is called Beyond Ready. That is going to be the next one. So we need to grow our 4-H programs, and we know that. 4-H in the majority of the states is getting smaller because we haven't made the transition to a program that is going to last another 100 years. So the proposal is to retain the people that we have, to build partnerships, internal and external partnerships, and to start offering more programs online. So this is going to be the tendency for the next probably 10 years in 4-H. So this is important for me. So how do we do this? Because I don't want just to take the story and go home. I want you some action points. So here I go. How do we make this happen? The number one is that we need to be honest. Not all the people are equipped or are willing or would like to work with people like me. Don't force the situation because you are going to make the things worse. Okay? Just try to talk with your team how important it is to engage everybody, and that's on you as a leader, and that's on the people in the counties too. We need to be absolutely sure that all the people that are in this kind of environment believe that this is the right thing to do. The other thing is that you need to have your goals. We cannot just go through life with no goals. In the state of Missouri, we were very clear since the beginning, and the goal was to grow the program by diversify the way that we deliver 4-H. We are making a huge effort to be in the schools, to be in the after school, in the community clubs. I would like everybody to have the opportunity to join 4-H. Of course, we need also to foster youth leadership because the youth are the future of our country. The Soybean Association in Missouri, they told me, you can use our building anytime that you want for free if you can tell the kids that they need to run for office in 20 years. If we don't teach them How are they going to do it? No, that's important. We need to, and probably I'm going to say something inappropriate, but here I go. It's like we need to the parents a little bit and let the kids grow, because sometimes the kids are just so held back because they are afraid to say or to do things that the parents don't approve. And we need to, like Taylor Swift said, shake it up. So another thing is just lead by example. This is super, super important because you need to set the tone. If you are the kind of person that don't want to do that, don't do it. But if you don't lead by example, it's very hard. What is lead by example? Put your money where your mouth is. Review your budget. How much money are we spending in leading these things or leading these things? Or it's just very, very important to put the money where our mouth is. Another thing is we need to understand our responsibility. In the state of Missouri, we have 1 million kids. The age that can be 4-H. I'm serving 50,000. It's nothing. I want to serve the whole million. Everybody should be in 4-H. Another thing is that you need to take your time and let your people take your time to lead, to be in the community. What that means is that if you are not part of the community, it's very hard to lead an extension program. You need to buy in the same supermarket that your community, go to the same church, meet them in the school, because if they feel that you are an outsider, it's very hard for them to understand the importance of it. You are not part of their community. So give your people some time. Sometimes we hire the people and we want the next week to start doing programming. Relax. Go and find the community, build them up, know what are the services that we are providing, what the community needs before we start doing anything else. And of course, we need to build safe spaces, because if we don't have a safe space for the people to meet, it's very hard. I'm going to give you an example. Our extension office in the courthouses. Just tell me what Latino is going to go to a courthouse, pass for the screen machine to see if I have a gun, to visit you as an extension officer. It was very few. We are afraid of the police. That's a cultural thing. You probably believe that the police, and I know that the police here help, but I grew up in a place that you better run out of the police, you know? And you are telling the people and the families to go to the courthouse to visit you. Just meet them at the park, how hard that can be, or in the community center, or in the school that is a safe place. So you need to start thinking about that. Remember, we are different, and being different is okay. Okay? Okay. The majority of you are, now we have a theoretical framework for 4-H, and that's really helping. And I always tell my people, if you see the flower is beautiful, but this is our job. Our job is to set the tone so the people can feel safe, find what they like, build a relationship with you or the rest of the adults. The power of 4-H is not the research-based curriculum, is the relationship that the kids have with an adult that can trust and can let them work. That is the power of 4-H. Okay, another thing is just appreciate the power of the extension program. So nobody wants to do 4-H and that's it. They want to know about animals. They want to know about horticulture, the family and consumer sciences. Just be absolutely sure that we have programs for everybody. No? And that's a ban. Can you imagine when I dare to say all the 4-H cars are with the clover? Everybody say, no, safe, no. Now you go in the road, the people hang on you and say bye-bye because the clover is recognized by everybody. What is our job in this? Our job is just really we need to prepare kids for life. They need to know, they need to be prepared for work, and they need to prepare for life. And that's our job. Stop thinking very big. How am I going to put this little seed in that kid so he can be an adult that can hold a job, that can have a family, that can be productive? That's our really job as extension agent. And of course, we need to foster an environment where people feel comfortable. I don't buy the thing that my county doesn't have any diversity. No? Of course, every county in the whole universe has diversity. You just need to find it. It doesn't have to be the African Americans or the Latinos. There are many ways of diversity. What about the income? What about the age of the people that live there? So when they say my county doesn't have diversity, just help them to think about diversity in other things than race and ethnicity. And this is important for me, and I want to spend. So the culture in your organization is a combination of what you create and what you allow. If you are allowing behaviors that are not appropriate, that's on you as the leader, okay? So you create the culture of your extension program. Nobody can do that for you. You can be welcoming or you can be mean, whatever you pick. Okay, and I just want to say, it's like we are, as extension people, we need to be very, very proud of the work that we do and the person that we are, because we work so hard. I don't know in other jobs, but I have a job that is 24/7. And I'm sure that all of you have a job that is 24/7. So we need to be very proud because we are making a difference on the lives of a lot of the kids. And kids, adults, and everything that might not have another opportunity if it's not for extension. So our job cannot be ended. And we need to be absolutely sure that we are powerful people making the difference in the lives of the people. So, and always remember, it's always possible to dream big, to live bolder, and just put it in your fridge. Put it in the place where it's your, don't think that this is enough. This will never be enough. You set your boundaries, and if I'm gonna just share some, just to finish, is that if you have any doubts, when you think that you can accomplish anything that you want, just think about me, okay? And these are my pictures for 2015. That was the rehearsal dinner that we didn't do that in Mexico, but it was fun. The father-in-law paid for a very nice dinner. And that was that day. And then my kids, when I moved to Missouri, we went to a Cardinals game. I never went to a baseball game before in my life, and I have that hot dog we were in a suite. It was just so wonderful, so wonderful. And now we have in 2020 with the COVID, I have my first grandkid that is a COVID year. And now when in 2022, I have my first one, and then the other one was coming. But look at me now. Well, this is for 2023. We went to Bass Pro Shop to have our picture taken. And Ashley was pregnant at that time, so look at my kids now. All 4-Hers. They are future 4-Hers for sure. So they are future. I have 3 now, 1 girl and 2 boys. But this is and we are raising them right because they cheer for the right team. So go Chiefs. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for everything that you do for Extension.
If you were in Montana last year, you saw me quite a few times, and I hadn't cried yet, but I'm gonna cry now. Oh, goodness. Okay, we've got a few papers up here. Got a little microphone situation we're gonna get on top of. Thank you so much for that inspirational presentation.
Thank you.
One thing that you said that resonated a lot with me, that you didn't say but you conveyed, was that you do a lot in your life that I feel like I do. Is that you leap first and you ask questions later. How many of you do that? Gets you in trouble sometimes, but it's a good trouble, isn't it?
That's true.
My friend Isette, when I say the word good trouble, I think of you. Okay. The Distinguished Service Ruby Pin bears the traditional Greek letters of our association, Epsilon, Sigma, and Phi. Embedded in the pin is a single ruby gemstone, plus 1 diamond for each decade of the recipient's extension service. According to the International Gem Society, a ruby's deep red color has encouraged strong associations with the life-sustaining fluid of a similar deep red color. A most elegant and fitting symbol to those who have sustained our profession and our association. Dr. Fabregas, you exemplify the vision, determination, and values of inclusivity that we all aspire to follow. Your impact on the cooperative extension system is deep and far-reaching. Your willingness to implement innovative extension programs is admirable. Your dedication to the youth of this nation and across the globe is unquestionable. And your legacy and extension will be long-lasting. With your words today, you continue to inspire us and challenge us to reach new heights. It is truly my honor to present you with this symbol of the Distinguished Service Ruby Award, a fitting representation of your outstanding contributions to extension and to Epsilon Sigma Phi. It's hard to see through tears if you're on the right page. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Maria Lupita Fabregas Janiero, our 2024 Distinguished Service Ruby Award recipient. I do just have a few announcements. Immediately following this session is our second block of concurrent sessions. I hope you've mapped that out where you're going next. Today from 3 to 4, please make sure to attend the poster session with presenters available for questions and to visit our exhibitors in that same location near some of those in the Seaside pre-function area near Salon C. Don't forget to gather with your state or friends from around the country for tonight's state night out. And be sure to sign the President's Key. If you're a first-timer to this conference, you may not know, should I sign that, should I not sign that? We want all of you to sign that key. That's our President's memento from this conference, and we want every single one of you to sign it. It's right outside this door. Please do so on your way out, and enjoy your afternoon.